Okay guys, welcome on board. This is Captain 37. Welcome to this live stream today. We're gonna be doing a 1 hour and 30-minute flight approximately from Manchester Airport to famous Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, which is Frankfurt Airport, located in Germany. Let's start with our flight plan and see what we are about to do today. Where did it go? Okay, I have a B plan. Let's do it like this. Here it is. So yeah, we are looking at our flight plan. This is a Lufthansa flight number 947 from Manchester to Frankfurt, date 14 June 2022, and our call sign will be Lufthansa 947. And let's check the plan together. So we are expecting 183 passengers, 4.6 tons of cargo, and the total payload is 19.1 tons. Zero fuel weight will be about 6 tons, 6.8 tons, and we're gonna need around 8 tons of fuel. That would lead to takeoff weight of 68.6 tons. And this will be our route. Wind information is over here. Everything looks fine. This is the summary of our route. We will take off from Manchester and head south, then southeast, past the sea and continue to Germany, to Frankfurt. Yeah. So first things first, we have ground power and let's just put the battery on and then the ground power on. And let's start with our preliminary
Manchester Information Lima. Time 1850 Zulu. Automatic. Runway in use 23
yeah,
right.
this is
Transition
better, I
level
guess.
flight level 60. Surface wind 330 degrees 7 knots. Varying between 300 and 360 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. No cloud detected. Temperature +18.
Latest frequency. Set this off. Okay. Let's go then. Let's put the IRSs on nav. And continue with voice recorder. Let's go down to our upper display and check the oil quantity, which is about 13. Good. And let's check the hydraulic levels. They are above 76, so that is also good. And let's go into our FMS and initialize our position. Echo Golf Charlie. Not in database. Echo Golf Charlie. Yep, that's the one, Manchester. And let's take our left GPS and put it in the IRS position setting. This, okay. Now let's continue with the pre-flight. Okay. Devices are good. Electronic engine control on. Airspeed warnings test. Stall warning test. Yaw damper on. Emergency exit lights on. No smoking and fasten seatbelts. And then window heat on. Pax auto. And we're gonna need to put the cruise level there. Let me check what that was real quick. From the flight plan. According to our flight plan, cruise level will be 350. So let's set 350. And we're gonna need to elevation of Frankfurt. We check it from the flight plan also. $364. So you're gonna be putting 370, or more like 400, okay. Engine start, igniter will be on the right. Let's put the position to steady. Check the oxygen. Test the lights. Auto brake RTO. Reset fuel flow. And transponders on second side. Slide this up a little bit. Okay, let's continue to programming the FMS then. Destination will be Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, and the call sign is Delta Lima Hotel 947. Departure. So according to our plan, we're going to be departing from runway 23 right via Listo 2 Romeo departure. Let's put that one in. 23 right, Listo 2 Romeo. Select it and continue to put in the route. After Listo via Lima 612 to Hotel Oscar November 612. Hotel Oscar November. And then Lima 15 to Bravo India Golf. Lima 15 to Bravo India Golf. Uniform Lima 9er to Conan. Lima 9er to Conan. Uniform Lima 607. Sierra Papa India. And then Tango 180. Unoko. Yes. This is the last waypoint, and then we're gonna be executing the STAR, Standard Arrival Procedure, for planned runway, which is 07 right for now, but Frankfurt is pretty busy, so it can change anytime. Let's just put in 07 for now, and Unoko. Let me see. Yeah, the Delta is better. Unoko to Delta. And transition will be via, let me see. Okay, I think I won't be putting any transition. There's going to be radar vectors at the very end. Let me see the map. Right. Yeah, radar vectors, and then to final approach point, which is Ropsa. Okay, I'll just leave it like this and activate this route. Let's go to performance. So our zero fuel weight is 60.773, which is 60.8. 60.8 in the FMS. And final reserve plus alternate, which is around 2.8, 2.9 there is our reserves. And the cost index is 8. Cruise altitude will be 350 as far as I remember. Yes, 350. And the temperature, let's check the flight plan for the top of climb temperature. Minus 49. Okay, execute. Insufficient fuel, that's expected. We don't have much fuel on board yet. Okay, so talking about the fuel, let's just call the fuel track now. Let's go to fuel, payload 8.1, fuel truck call. Yeah, the fuel truck is here. They're pumping up the fuel. Cool. And we're gonna need the ATIS now. Let's just take the ATIS and see what's going on in the weather.
30 degrees 7 knots, varying between 300 and 360 degrees, visibility 10 kilometers, or more, no cloud detected, temperature +18, dew point +7, QNH 1019, threshold QFE 1010. Acknowledge receipt of information, Lima, and advise aircraft type on first contact. Manchester information, Lima, time 1850 Zulu, automatic, runway in use 23 right, transition level flight level 60, surface wind 330 degrees 7 knots, varying between 300 and 360 degrees, visibility 10 kilometers, or more, no cloud detected,
Okay, this is all we need. Temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. Let's put that one in too. Right there. and normally we would do the takeoff calculations and put in what we see from the software, but unfortunately we don't have the appropriate one over here. Even if you calculate it, it doesn't give you anything meaningful. So let me put in the information and see if it comes out with anything. 100, correction. 1019 is the QNH. Yeah, nothing comes out, so I'll go something from my experience and I'll put 24K, and I won't be using any assumed temperature and go to takeoff page. CG, we have CG over here in the payload page. Yeah, 20.9 is CG. Okay, and the flops will be 5, speeds 149. Okay, let's go to descent page. I'll just put in the 4K data during cruise, so just leave it like that for now. So that's pretty much it for the FMS setup. Okay. What's next? So let's do our setups too, according to our SID for Romeo 23 right, Listo to Romeo. Romeo heading will be 232. Right, flight directors. And initial climb is 5,000 feet. Set. At 2 GME from Manchester, VOR left turn 161 and intercept radial 339 of Hotel Alpha November. So our course will be 159. Our V2 is 149er. 149er set. Auto throttle is armed. Okay. Let's pre-select the LNAV, VNAV. Right. I'm just checking something from the SID chart. Okay, so let's just continue and get our ATC clearance first. We have the ground frequency active, so let's switch to that.
Manchester ground or Edinburgh? Yeah, apologies, EV58 Charlie Foxtrot. I've just been at Edinburgh all day. I've suddenly changed. So. It's alright, I got confused where I was. EV58 Charlie Foxtrot. If it's raining, you're in Manchester. If it's snowing, you're in Edinburgh.
Manchester ground, hello. Lufthansa 9047, stand number 50, information, Lima on board, destination Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, aircraft type Boeing 737-800, request ATC clearance.
Lufthansa 947, Manchester ground. A very good evening to you. Not actually seen a flight plan fly for you yet. You can file a flight plan, I'll give you clearance.
Okay, thank you. We'll go Turkish. Correction, Lufthansa 947. Okay, guys, let's just go and resend the flight plan. Apparently something wrong with the flight plan. Manchester ground to Lufthansa 947. We just resent the flight plan. Did you receive it?
Lufthansa 947, Manchester ground. Just received it. Give me 2 minutes just to check it. I'll be back with you.
Okay, standing by, Lufthansa 947. Let's just wait for them to give our ATC clearance. There it is, the flight plan. Okay, looks like I zoomed it out too much.
Lufthansa 947, Manchester ground.
Go ahead, sir. Lufthansa 947.
Lufthansa 947, cleared. Cleared to Frankfurt, Listo to Romeo departure, and squawk 4747.
Clear to Frankfurt Airport, where Listo to Romeo SID and the squawk Alpha is 4747 Lufthansa 947.
Lufthansa 947, dispatch correct.
Thank you. Okay, we got our departure clearance, which is Listo to Romeo, already set in the FMS, and the squawk code is 4747. It is already set over here. And since we got our clearance, we may proceed planning our pushback and calling the pushback card and asking for the startup and pushback clearance. So yeah, let's go to that's a pushback pre-plan. Right, so since we are at number 50, we're gonna be pushing back facing east, northeast actually, like this.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Yep, we are ready. Let's just request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Tow is coming up. Let's just ask for the pushback and startup clearance. Anything else? Let me just double check. Manchester VR is 113.55, 113.55, set 113.55, and then after that one we're gonna need the Hanley VR, which is 113.65, 113.65, 113.65. Gonna put this one on the
all
side.
doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay, he's gonna connect the pushback card, but in the meantime, let's just ask for the clearance for startup and pushback. Manchester ground, Lufthansa 947, request startup and pushback.
Lufthansa 947, Manchester ground. Push and start approved. Face west, please.
Push and start approved and face west, Lufthansa 947.
So connected and bypass pin in circuit.
Okay,
Parking brake.
they asked for
Start planner. Pushback already in progress.
let's just terminate
Please
this
stop
pushback.
the pushback operation first.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
And let's just
Can't start planner.
pre-plan
Pushback
again,
already in progress.
because they asked to
Please
face
stop
west.
the pushback operation
We
first.
pre-planned it facing northeast, that's why.
Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the pushback operation first.
Disconnect, okay.
Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the pushback operation first. Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the pushback operation first. Can't start
You see
planner.
that going?
Pushback already in progress.
Okay.
Please stop
There
the
he is.
pushback operation
We'll
first.
see you next time and have a safe flight.
I'll be calling you very soon, mate.
Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the can't start planner. Can't start planner. Pushback already in can't start planner.
Why can't I
already in progress.
do it again?
Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the pushback operation first. Can't start planner. Pushback
Alright
already in
guys,
progress.
maybe we have another chance.
Please stop the pushback operation first.
Speedbird 75 Charlie, go gauge 27 radio check. Speedbird 75 Charlie Echo, Manchester ground, readability 5. Thank you, Speedbird 75 Charlie, go.
How else can we do the pushback over here? Ah, there you go. Okay, so let's just replan it facing west. Cancel the... no. Sometimes this is just too annoying. Delete the segment, replan it facing west, and accept the plan.
Plan acknowledged, call me through the menu when you're ready.
There it is. Okay.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Now it's coming up.
Ground, Speedbird 75 Charlie, okay 27, Airbus A320, with information Mike, QNH 1019, requesting IFR clearance to Gatwick. Speedbird 75 Charlie Echo, Manchester ground, clear to Gatwick, Sunbear 1 Romeo departure, squawk 3440. Clear to Gatwick on the Sunbear 1 Romeo departure, squawk 3440, Speedbird 75 Charlie Echo. Speedbird 75 Charlie Echo, read back correct. Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay, the pushback guy is here again.
Shannon 935, stand by. Lufthansa 947, Manchester ground.
Go ahead, sir. Lufthansa 947.
Lufthansa 947, are you in a position to start pushback yet?
Yeah, in just 30 seconds, sir. That's our fault. Sorry for that.
No problem, Lufthansa 947. Shamrock 935, just hold position, Lufthansa 737. So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Start this push, we'll give you the push clearance. Still on position for the Shamrock. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, so engines will be starting soon. Let's start the APU. Oh, of course it's disconnected because of the thing. We just forget to start the APU first. Nothing important, so we're just gonna put the APU on when it becomes ready, of course.
Speedbird 75 Charlie, go, gate 27 ready for pushback and start. Speedbird 75 Charlie Echo, stand 27, push and start approved, face south. Push approved, facing south, Speedbird 75 Charlie.
Okay, there it is, the APU on bus. We are ready to start the engine, start sequence 211. Let's put the packs off and start engine number 2. N2 is rising, we will wait for 25.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Engine number 2 is revving. Number 2 is normal, starting engine number 1. And 2 is rising.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's 25. I just thought that was idle. There comes the EGT. Yep, second engine is good. We are waiting for this to go off. Right. Let's go with the before taxi procedure. Flaps will be 5. And we will put the engine generators on. Prop heat on. PAX auto. Isolation valve auto. APU bleed off. APU off. Engine start switches continuous, recall checked. We have the flight control, of course the yaw damper because of the source of the AC has changed. Everything looks fine. Let's just ask for taxi clearance and go. Manchester ground Turkish, correction, Lufthansa 947, request taxi.
Lufthansa 947, taxi to holding point Mike 1 via Golf and Juliet.
Taxi the holding point, Mike 1 via Golf and Juliet, Lufthansa 947. Okay, let's check the ground charts. Golf, Juliet, and Mike 1. Okay. Runway turn off and taxi lights on. Parking brake released. And let's start our taxi.
Good evening, hello again. Felix 97 Uniform Echo. We're starting 9737. For information, mark this time. Quitting clearance to Innsbruck.
So currently we are on Golf taxiway. We will make a U-turn for taxiway Juliet and continue to Mike 1.
Uniform Echo, push and start approved, face south. Start approved, face south, 97 Uniform Echo. Lufthansa 947, contact London 133.7.
Say again the frequency for London consultant, Lufthansa 947.
Lufthansa 947, 133.7 for London control.
133.7, Lufthansa 947. Okay, they're just handing us over to London control now. Let's just switch to frequency. One 133.7. Here we are. Okay, right now we are on taxiway Juliet and we are heading for Mike 1 holding point. and then we're gonna be asking for the
3 uniform, good evening, London
takeoff
to
clearance.
standby.
Mike 1 is on our right, as you can see.
Right at 3 uniform, good evening, clearances to Dublin, Pole Hill 2 X-ray off 14, squawk 2077, QNH is 1019er. To Dublin, Pole Hill 2 X-ray departure runway 14, squawking 2077, QNH 1019er, right at 3 uniform. Right at 3 uniform,
Okay, this is Mike 1. Let's hold here and ask for the clearance.
67 Victor, nothing further, Monty Unicom, bye-bye. Tomjet 67 Victor, Monty Unicom, bye-bye. Unicom, thanks very much, Tomjet 67 Victor, bye-bye.
So I'm not
Number 964, gate 5, request push and start. Kilo 964, push and start, approved, face east. Pushing back facing east, Kilo 964.
I need to adjust something real quick. Okay, this one. Okay. London Control, Lufthansa 947, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 947, good evening from Mike. Correction, behind the landing, British Airways A320neo via Mike 1, line up 23 right behind.
Behind landing traffic, unsure final lineup runway 23 right behind Lufthansa 947. Okay, they gave us the lineup and wait clearance. Let's just put on this steady and switch our transponder to alt. Open the terrain radar. That guy landing is the guy, and then after him landed, we're gonna be lining up.
Push approved, face northwest. Through pitching northwest, right at 3 uniform.
Okay, there he comes. Let's just line up.
26 track miles to run, is that going to be enough for you? We might need more track miles, Skyways 693. 693, roger. I'll just keep you on that heading for now. Descend to altitude 4,000 feet, the Manchester QNH 1019er. Proceed with current heading, descend to 4,000 feet, Manchester QNH is 1019, Skyway 693.
Yep, we are lining up runway 23 right now.
135.525, good evening. Over to Scottish 135, 968, bye-bye.
And in a short while, he's gonna give us the takeoff clearance.
53 correct uniform when ready, descend flight level 80. Ready, flight level 80, easy 5, 3, big inform. And the 25 Tango call Amsterdam 125.75, good evening. 125.75, from 2 Ethimal, bye-bye, thanks for the service. That's Speedbird 47 uniform, runway 23, right vacated. 47 uniform, right on Bravo, hold Bravo 3, call ground 121.85, good evening. Roger, contacting ground 121.85, thanks, yeah, thanks a lot for guidance, bye-bye. Standard 947, runway 23 right, service wind 310 degrees, 7 knots, cleared takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 23 right, Lufthansa 947. Okay, we got our takeoff clearance. Landing lights on, taxi light off. And takeoff.
Channel 97 uniform Echo, roger, which charging point would you like? Currently holding Hotel 1, that's a uniform Echo. Okay, happy to depart from there.
Takeoff to set.
935 London. 935, good evening London, via Mike 1.
80 knots.
Good 3 for Yankee to left heading 080 degrees, vectors ILS 23 right.
V1 is coming up. Rotate. Gently pull up. Positive rate. Gear up.
E1 Eagle Tango when ready, descend flight level 160 level by air call. And when ready, descend 160 level air call, repeat.
400 past VNAV speed. Autopilot V commands and VNAV speed.
1000.
Runway 3 uniform taxi order point Alpha 1 via Alpha 1 enter backtrack runway 14 call ready for departure. Alpha 1 Alpha backtrack runway 14 call ready for departure, run entry uniform. Lufthansa 947 report your passing altitude, climb now flight level 190.
Passing 1,900 feet and climb flight level 190, Lufthansa 947. Okay, so they instructed us to climb flight level 190. We're gonna set that up. By the way, we're gonna retract our flaps. Flaps 1, 190 set. And flaps up. Okay, flaps are up. After takeoff checklist. Engine start switches off. Auto brake off. Landing gear off. And after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on. PAX auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights. After takeoff check is complete. FMC speed we have path. We have the restriction at 5,000 feet at least the waypoint. That's why the airplane is leveling off at 5,000 right now. And after passing that waypoint over the Listo, it will just start climbing again.
Skyway 693, fully established on 23 right, 90 in. 693, roger, 1 to depart, I'll call you back. Roger. London, good evening. EG54 Alpha, climb to 230, direct to Blackpool. EG54 Alpha, good evening. London Control, will be vectors for the ILS runway 14 at Leeds, climb level 280. Vectors for 14 and can we stick at 230 for the cruise? Sorry, 230 is my bad. 230, EG54 Alpha.
Yep, and one we know speed since we've passed the waypoint. The aircraft started climbing again with climb power, and we passed the transition altitude, which was 5,000 feet, so we can set the QNH standard on the altimeters. Everything looks fine. Okay, the temperature is below 10 degrees and we are in clouds, so we're gonna need to turn on the engine anti-ice by switching engine start switches to continuous and putting engine anti-ices on. and you can see the Thai Tango Alpha India indication on the Unicom, Lufthansa 947. Okay, we passed 10,000 feet. We can put the lights off with the passing balance to auto. I know they just switched us to Unicom. We're gonna switch to Unicom right now.
Climb now, flight level 160. Flight level 160, right, for uniform. Station calling London, just static, readability 0. My ears. Good late, North Alpha, lights on, nobody's home, unfortunately, it's still just...
While you're in your seat, please keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case we do encounter any unexpected clear or turbulence. And for everyone's safety, please make certain all your personal belongings are free and clear of the aisle. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. We'll be serving a variety of complimentary drinks as well as select beer and wine. In addition, there are other alcoholic beverages for purchase. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our service on tonight's flight. If there's anything we can do to make them enjoyable, please don't hesitate to call upon us. Thank you.
We're not gonna be needing the terrain radar anymore. Just turn it off. So since we're on the Unicom frequency, we can climb on our own discretion, because there will be no one to tell us to climb or level off at certain level. So I'm just gonna put our final cruising level 350 on altitude window on the MCP. 350 SEP, and let's just extend the range a little bit. And we have a little bit of fuel in the center tank, so I'm gonna just put the center tank fuel pumps on to use that as well. I just didn't put them on the during the takeoff because it might flicker, thinking that the center tank does not contain any fuel, and that might trigger the master caution warning. And if below 80 knots any master caution warning comes out, you have to reject takeoff. So that's why I didn't put the center tank fuel pumps on to prevent any, false alert on the master caution system. But now it's not a problem. Since we are climbing, we can use the 130 kilograms of fuel in the center tank.
ladies and gentlemen. We have a passenger Escobar. Passenger Escobar. This is in regards to a special meal. Would you please identify yourself to a flight attendant? Passenger Escobar, please.
So this was the warning that I was talking about. See, the master caution light is illuminated with a fuel indication, and if you go check the fuel section of the Boeing 737, you can see the low pressure in the center tank fuel. So you just simply turn these off and the indication goes off. The reason was the center tank contained zero fuel at that moment, so center tank fuel pumps off. We are on our way to flight level 350. Everything looks fine. Outside temperature is -9, total air temperature, and we are almost clear of the clouds. So yeah, let's just put the engine anti-ice off. Usha Al Gore, welcome aboard, friend. And then if you can just write down your question in English, I'll be more than happy to answer it. 2,000 feet left to level off, flight level 350. Can you explain what is heads up display indicating? So I'm not sure which part are you talking about, but if you are talking about this panel right here, it's called the MCP, and it shows us the altitude set to climb and the heading, and then the courses to intercept. And you can open the speed panel from here and put in anything manual, or you can just close it. In that way the airplane will follow the speed set in the FMS, which is right here, as you can see, 0.75 Mach right now, and the aircraft is trying to maintain that speed while climbing. But that one, the overlay, okay. So in the overlay, the AC stands for the aircraft type, Boeing 738, which is the short version of 737-800, and then we have the CS, which is the shortened version of call sign. It says Delta Lima Hotel 9047, as you can see. It means Lufthansa 9047, and ETA is the Zulu time that we're gonna expecting to arrive at the Frankfurt airport. And then we have the departure and arrival, the ICAO short codes for the departure airport, which was Manchester, and the arrival Frankfurt, Echo Delta Foxtrot. And then you see the altitude that we are currently maintaining, which is 35,000 feet, and the heading is the current heading that we are headed right now, 135 degrees, and the ground speed is 438 knots. Okay, we just reached our cruising level, 35,000 feet. Normally, in this case, we just take the takeoff time and put it in the electronic flight bag in real life, and we get the um, latest forecasts, weather information for. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Feel free to ask any questions. And as I said, yeah, we just gonna need to take the weather forecast for our destination and our alternates. And the first officer is supposed to write down some information on the flight logbook and give a cruise briefing to the pilot flying, whoever is that. I mean, captain can be the pilot flying, or the first officer can be the pilot flying, and the other one is called pilot monitoring. So during cruise, the pilot monitoring should give information about the current status of the duty, the journey. He will just inform the pilot flying about how many minutes they are late or early, and what's the fuel status. Right now we have 6,000 kilograms, and we need to be, let's check the minimum fuel. Minimum fuel at Frankfurt should be above 2.9 tons of fuel, and According to FMS, we will reach at Frankfurt with 4.2 tons of fuel, which is above the minimum fuel, so we are good on that. We have actually 1.3 tons of extra fuel, which would give us almost 30 minutes of flight time. And one other thing that the PM should inform the PF about is the fuel temperature status, which can be checked from here. This gauge over here, it's right now says 30, and the limit is plus 49 and minus 40 or 47, depending on the fuel type. And then the pressurization status, if anything is abnormal in these two indications, that would mean a problem. And finally, the PM should inform about the RVSM check, which means if you are flying above flight level 290, there shouldn't be any difference more than 200 feet between two different altimeters. So the captain side says 35,000 and the first officer side says 35,000. So this is less than 200, and we are within limits for the RVSM check. Let's check how much time we got left till top of descent. It's in the FMS progress page. It says 12:49 Zulu, and currently time is 12:11, so we have like 38 minutes till top of descent and 275 nautical mile to go, so we are good. Normally we start our descent preparations around like 20 minutes left to top of descent, around like that, but of course depending on the situation and weather and the workload, it can change to, you know, sometimes you find yourself doing your approach briefing while you are descending. The normal limit is you're supposed to finish all your preparations, including your briefing, before 10,000 feet above the elevation of the airport you are headed. So especially during short flights, when you have like very short um, cruising distance, sometimes the approach briefing and the setups and the A tests, just you happen to find yourself doing them while descending. But like I said, if you happen to finish them before 10,000 feet above field elevation, you're all good. You're within the limits. So because the 10,000 feet, as you guys might know, below 10,000 feet, you shouldn't be doing anything other than concentrating on the radio and the flying the airplane according to the limitations and the restrictions and all that. So where are we right now? Let's check the map. Yeah, we are about to leave United Kingdom. We are between Ashford and Canterbury. We will continue past the sea. One other thing you can do is you should actually get the weather information on your en route alternates in this particular flight. Possibly Schiphol, Amsterdam Schiphol would be one of the en route alternates. You would get the ATIS for that, or METAR at least. So the difference between the METAR and the ATIS is ATIS gives you what is the runway in use, and what's the transition level, what is the ILS in use, ILS type, and in METAR most likely you will find just wind information, temperature, visibility, and the levels of the cloud basis. So it's more like a summary, a shortened version, a less detailed of the ATIS itself. We are almost over the sea. We're leaving United Kingdom. I was expecting much more controllers to be online, honestly. We are still on Unicom frequency, which is like, for those who don't know how that works, the Unicom is the frequency that there is no controllers online. You just fly by yourself, and especially if you are approaching your destination or an airport that you plan to land, you just give information by yourself, like let's say you are Lufthansa 947 as we are today. You go intercom Lufthansa 947, 10 nautical miles to Stuttgart, and 4 nautical miles to Stuttgart. Goes like that to prevent other aircraft to get in too close or possibly have an accident with you, or to make them plan their approach accordingly. So there's one traffic right in front of us. He's below 1,700 feet, and he's climbing with more than 500 FPM. That little arrow right next to it. Yeah, Usha. Are there other planes flying or just you, ATM or radio towers? No, there are actually other people around, as you can see in the primary flight display over here. One guy is just 10 miles in front of me, and he's like 1,000 feet below me, but climbing with more than 5,000 feet per minute. So we need to keep an eye on him. We don't want to get too close. Right now its status is technically called other traffic because he is more than 6 nautical mile apart from us, and normally the other parameter is the altitude difference, which is 1,200 feet. Right now he's not 1,200 feet apart from us, but the distance is more than 6 nautical miles, so he's technically other traffic, which is symbolized by a blank diamond shape. If he becomes an approximate traffic, which means he is within 1,200 feet and 6 nautical miles, that means that would change the symbol on the PFD to a solid, like a filled white diamond. So yeah, he's just at the same level, 350, and still climbing with more than 500 feet per minute right now. And from the VATSIM map actually you can change where is he headed, and on the map it says he's headed to an airport called Rijeka, much more southeast than the Frankfurt, so he's gonna be heading somewhere else pretty soon. How close is he allowed to get to you? I mean, so it depending on the type of the aircraft, it varies between 2 nautical mile to 6 nautical mile. But of course, that's you would never want someone um, like in the same level, 2 nautical mile close to you. That would almost, I mean, mostly trigger the traffic alert of the aircraft, and you're gonna need to uh, follow directions of a preventative system called TCAS. And when someone is too close to you, the aircraft will um, direct you to either climb or descend, depending on the level and speed of the other aircraft, the approximate the close traffic. So the regulation is like depending between 2 to 6, but of course that the ATC, all purpose of the ATC is to maintain the safety during all these flights in the air at the same time. But like I said, yes, the trigger becomes active if he is 40 seconds away from you. Then the preventative yellow amber symbol will come out in the PFD, and it will not trigger the maneuver like climb or descent, but it's just going to make you, concentrate on the other traffic and maintain visual contact if possible to, make the escape maneuver, actually get ready to make the escape maneuver if needed. And if he becomes closer and to the point like 25 seconds to impact, to, actually hit you, then, as I mentioned before, the TCAS array, the resolution advisory system will be activated and the aircraft will tell you to either climb or descend. And one interesting thing about this TCAS array, this preventative system, is you just maintain your lateral path. It's just about your flight level. You're either gonna climb or descend, but in the same time you're supposed to maintain your lateral course. What does that mean is, let's say you are in some sort of holding over a waypoint and the TCAS just came in, like the alert started giving you directions, giving you orders, then you just maintaining your holding pattern laterally while initiating the escape maneuver, climbing or descending. So we are over to land again, and let's check. We are currently flying over Belgium. Brussels airport is very close to us now. We will just pass that one and continue to Frankfurt, Germany space after Belgium. And hopefully there will be some guys in the radar. If not, we're gonna continue as we planned to the Frankfurt on Unicom frequency. But it's more fun when the ATCs, giving you orders, descent, turn left heading this, right heading that. It's more like a challenge to plan and execute your descent route. Do you plan on doing drill flights, for instance, like what if there is a fire on board? We can try those. We can try those. I'm not sure about fire on board because it has this long and different kind of approach to fire on board situation. Fire and smoke drill, it says. The name is that. But we can try engine fires, engine failures, pressurization anomalies, which means the cabin pressure being lost by any cracks or leaks in the fuselage. Or we can try some electrical failures. We can try all those. Or we can make videos like engine failure during takeoff, because it's very fun, and as actually it's part of the every simulator checked of an airline pilot. Every 6 months you go into simulator and they give you various failures and emergency situations, but one of those emergencies that is always being simulated is the engine failure during, or engine fire during takeoff, because it's like the one of the most high in terms of workload and the most difficult to manage ones, because the altitude is very low, the speed is very low, energy in the plane is very low, and it's very important to manage those kind of emergencies properly. We could make videos like demonstrating how to handle those kind of situations, or we could make emergency descent procedures. We could try those. Like this is the This is my first stream, so this will be more like a plain and simple one. Just take off from a crowded Manchester airport and land to one of the most busy airports of Europe, which is Frankfurt. This will be a normal, non-emergency daily flight. I wish there were more controllers, but still. So we are so close to Brussels airport. Let's check over here, right there. This is Brussels, Belgium. Pretty busy one. And 12:30 is 31 actually is the current time, and 12:41 is the top of descent. So we might start to uh, prepare for our descent by first thing is getting the weather information. Let's check if the ATIS is active on Frankfurt Airport. If not, maybe we can use our EFB to get the weather. Airports, Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, right here. Okay, let's go down. Okay, the weather at the Frankfurt is wind is from 210, 13 knots, visibility more than 10 kilometers, light shower rain, scattered cumulonimbus clouds at 3,800 feet. Cumulonimbus is the famous clouds that we try to avoid as much as possible. Yusha Algor sounds exciting, but how does user interaction work? Since you are role-playing the emergency situation, do we expect other players to go along as well, or can you deliberately explode your engine? So the way it works is on VATSIM, myself actually heard once an engine failure and made a call out, and the ATC complied with the situation, kept the role playing going on, and gave him priority he needs to have to land at the nearest airport, which was somewhere in Turkey, as I remember, somewhere near to Trabzon or Ordu, and they actually simulated the situation and landed with one engine inoperative. And so yeah, the ATC guys, normally being professional, acting professional, and helping the emergency airplane mayday call out airplane as much as they can, and do the weather announcement. Okay, so normally the announcement is done by the PF, which is pilot flying. It goes like, let's make one actually. Ladies, gentlemen, and dear children, welcome on board this Lufthansa flight number Lima Hotel 9047. This is your captain speaking. I would like to give you some brief information about our flight. As you know, we took off around 45 minutes ago from Manchester Airport and currently cruising at 35,000 feet, which is around 10,670 meters above mean sea level. And we are right now passing Belgium airspace, and we will continue to Germany, and we plan to land at 14:15 Zulu, correction, 14:15 local time, Germany. And according to our latest weather forecast, the temperature at Frankfurt will be about 20 degrees Celsius, and sky will be cloudy. Thank you for choosing Lufthansa, and wish you a pleasant flight. So this was an example of the, the fast, hard to understand announcement made in a, more like a slow and understandable way. This is practically what we say to passengers, when we took off. Where are we currently? At what level? At what speed? And when are we plan to be landed? and what is the weather forecast at the destination airport. Yeah, so if we go back to our weather forecast, 20 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees is dew point. The meaning of the dew point is if the temperature and the dew point is those two temperature is practically the same, like say 20 degrees the temperature and 20 degrees is the dew point, then that means there's a very very high chance, almost most definitely there will be rain at that particular destination. So if the difference between those two is like more, the less chance the precipitation will take place. And then we have the QNH 1017. Let's just put the 1017 on the standby right here, and then temporarily shower rain is forecasted at Frankfurt. So according to our flight plan, we entered runway 07. That was great. Thank you. I'm convinced now that you are a real pilot. Thank you, Yusha. So yeah, the runway that we put in was 07, right? And if the weather stays like this, we're gonna need to change our runway to runway 25 because this much of tailwind is 13 knots. Tailwind is out of the limits of Boeing 737-800, especially the runway is not dry, which is going to be the situation when we get there, apparently, because the temporary shower rain is expected and the light shower rain is the current situation. So the limit for the tailwind is 10 knots if the runway is wet. What we will see sometimes the weather at the EFB and in the VATSIM world does not match. So we're gonna be finding out our runway when we get close to the controller. We can check the closest one for weather to get the idea what might be the actual weather. We have Echo Delta Fox Hotel. Let's see if we have the frequency for that, because we are close to it. No. We don't have it. Let's just wait for a little bit more. We can ask the controller. We could ask the controller, but as you guys know, we don't have any controllers controlling us right now. But once we get into Langham radar, which is active right now in Germany, I will definitely ask him for the runway views at Frankfurt Airport. Or one thing that we can do is we can check the relay tests because I'm using the real world data in the simulator, and we can just check the real METAR actually for Frankfurt and see. Yeah, the wind is from 30 degrees 030, 8 knots, so the runway is supposed to be 07, right or center. So our flight plan is correct. This one over here in the EFB currently is not right, not correct. So since we are getting closer to our top of descent, we can do our calculation and do our setup for the approach. Normally we have this, of course, the professional landing performance calculator, but let's give this one a try. 07 right, Frankfurt, runway condition wet, wind is 0308 knots, 030 slush 8, let's say. Okay, the temperature is 22 degrees Celsius and the QNH is 1018. Flaps 30 I prefer. Normally the performance software should give you what flaps to use, but in this case, since we don't have the professional one, I will choose flaps 30, and auto brake will be 3. This is all based on experience, guys, so if I get to have anything more professional, more like real world thing in the simulator later on, we can do the calculations according to that. Okay, let's just continue. Landing weight, we go to progress page. We have 4.9 our current fuel quantity, and we are planned to be landed at 4.1 tons of fuel. So we subtract it, so it gives you 0.7, which means 700 kilograms of fuel will be burned till we get to the Frankfurt. So we go to our current gross weight, which is 65.6, and we take out that 700 kilograms from here. It gives us 64 point now. So the landing weight will be 64.9, 64,900 kilograms. And when we go to the second page, it gives us the results for 64.9. Landing distance available for runway 07 right is 3,872 meters, and according to our calculations, auto brake 3 will make the plane stop, reach the full stop at 2,169 meters, which is very well, very shorter than we needed actually, and that will give us opportunity to leave the vacate the runway earlier if there is an appropriate taxiway. So I'll go with auto brake 3. You select your auto brake from here. According to calculations, 3 is set, and I chose flaps 30 approach. That one is also set from here, and then we go set our courses and frequencies and all that for runway 07 right. Let's just check what's the frequency and all that. For runway 07 right, the frequency will be 110.905, 110.905. Also set it on the other side, 110.905. This is the ILS frequency for runway 07 right. And then the final approach course will be 066. Let's just put that one into 066. Yep, there we go. And the minimums will be for Cat 1 approach 530. 530 set. And we got our courses and minimums are set. Course 66, minimums 530, ILS frequency set. And in case of go around, we're gonna need some navigation aids like VORs. When we check the chart, we're gonna need the Frankfurt main VOR, which is 114.2. I will just put it on the standby side 114.2. So this practically completes our setup for ILS 07 right Frankfurt approach. And after completing your setup, you proceed to making your approach briefing. And we are planning to do the Unoko 3 Delta. Right now, unfortunately, I can't show you the charts, but I will figure it out for the next stream, and hopefully I'll be able to show you the charts while I'm checking them. So Unoko, and then we should have Ibvil, right, and then Manuf, Ramop, Delta Foxtrot 421, 431 correction, 432, and 439er, all in the FMS, and then 441, 444, 442, 443, 444, all set, and then vectors, and then to final approach point ROPSA, which will be 4,000 feet in the chart, checked. Okay, and in glide path will be 3 degrees standard and minimums will be 530. The runway will be 4,000 meters by 45 meters width, and in case of go around we will continue on 067 track, and at minimum intercept radial 062, minimum 5,000 feet, whichever is later on right turn direct to Romeo India Delta, which is the right viewer. So you can double check it from the FMS. As you can see, after runway you go on 067 track, and then radial 086. It says 87 here, but 1 degrees of difference always happens in the real life. And then you climb 5,000 feet over Romeo India Delta VOR, so it's all set in the FMS, which means in case of go around we are able to use LNAV. Otherwise, if we didn't have it in the FMS, we would have to use the conventional navigation methods like the VOR itself, the courses, Warlock, and all that. That's not the case for today. So yeah, our setup and briefing is complete. We're gonna do our descent checklist by first checking the recall if anything is going on with the systems of the airplane, anything non-normal going on. And I'm surprised still no ATC controller around us. We are so close to Germany. Okay, so the FMS says reset MCP altitude, which means we are less than 10 nautical miles to our top of descent. So I'm gonna set this one to something, lower. Normally the ATC gives you like bit by bit, like descent flight level 250, descent flight level 190, it goes like that. But since we don't have the ATC controller right now, we can feel free to descend to our first restriction. But in this approach, we don't have any restrictions, so we can almost set 4,000 feet, which is the final approach point altitude. So 4,000 set. Okay, so the top of descent is here with us. Aircraft goes into retard mode, just pulls all the way back the throttle levers, throttle quadrant, and starts its descent according to the approach chart we gave him in the very beginning. So we have just started our descent towards Frankfurt. Everything looks fine, all setups are complete. Normally in an international flight you would put the seatbelt signs on when there are 20 minutes left for your landing, so the time is 12:15 and the landing time is 13:14. So in like 4 minutes of time, let's just start the timer. 4 minutes of time, we're gonna be putting our seatbelt signs on. And good night, Usha. Thank you for joining us. See you soon again. And we're gonna be putting the landing lights on when we are above 10,000 feet above the field elevation, and inform the cabin crew to take their landing position. And the one other thing we're gonna do is to set the altimeters to local QNH when we reach the transition level, which is flight level 60 for Frankfurt. And after landing, let me do my own plan to where to park, because no ATC, there won't be anyone to tell us where to park. I think we're gonna vacate via left from Mike 11 or Mike 7, and then continue to Mike 10 and cross runway 07 center, Lima 6, November 4 to parking position Bravo 48. That's my plan. But if any controller comes up, we will just follow his orders. So yeah, we are almost 20 minutes away from landing, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the fasten belt signs on. This will inform our cabin crew to prepare the cabin for landing. You know, put your seat belts up, table upright, and all that stuff, you know. The aircraft, as you know, as you can see, it's like kind of having hard time to maintain the desired speed because it's a little bit high. And yep, just as we mentioned, it says drag required. It kind of says help me to maintain the speed. So what we can do is to put the speed brake up to help the aircraft maintain the desired speed of 267 knots for now. when you put the speed brake up, as you can see, the speed comes slowly back to the desired speed, and once it reaches it, if it comes below it, it will actually put the thrust levels forward a little bit to maintain that speed, but for now it won't. And the one other thing you can notice is the speed brake armed not indication, the green one on the left. It tells us that speed brakes are deployed or armed. So we are passing flight level 210 now. As you can see, it kind of having hard time to maintain the desired speed because the speed brake is up now. So it just puts the throttle forward to reach that speed. So what I'm going to do is to close the speed brake lever down, retract the speed brakes, and it will pull back the thrust levers. Retard again, which means it will pull thrust levers all the way to the back. We are at flight level 200 now, still on our descent. So normally the speed restrictions, other than the charts themselves, depending on the country you are flying, but most of them have the speed restriction of 250 knots below 10,000 feet. So since we are still above that, we are above 250 knots. But in the real life, in this kind of situation, what you would expect is, especially if there are no traffics around, they would give you direct routes, from like way before, they would give you direct to BOPSA, which is final approach point. In that case, if you leave everything to the FMS, it will probably won't manage to get there at that altitude of 4,000 feet. What you need to do in that case is to change your vertical mode to level change and increase your speed. That way the aircraft will pull back the throttles like this, and then to reach the speed that you set in the FMS, MCP correction, the MCP, it will uh, put its nose down to catch the speed, increase the speed. So this would mean more rate of descent per minute. So those kinds of situations you need to act quick and try to catch the path again. I mean, in real life, especially in a traffic condition like this, like no traffic at all at Frankfurt, definitely they wouldn't let you fly all the star like this. They would give you shortcuts, and that's one of the events that you come in as a pilot and take the matters in hand, you know. So yeah, we are descending. We just passed flight level 140, descending to 130, continuing our approach. You know what? I'm gonna be doing this level change. This will keep the thrust levels at, you know, all the way to the back. Put the nose down. I'm gonna just increase the speed a little bit, give it more like a nose down, and put the speed brake up to increase the rate of descent. As you can see, it's increasing more and more to get down more quick, and turn left before going too much to the other side, because right now we are facing the opposite side of the runway. So we are reaching 10,000 feet. I will just lower my speed below 250. As you can notice, the aircraft just pitches its nose up to decrease the speed. It's just trying to get to the point where the speed is 240 knots, decreasing the speed. And yeah, 10,000 feet and speed is below 250. That's good. We are good with the regulations. And I'll start my left turn towards the runway. I don't want to get too much far away from the runway because no traffic, nothing. Unicom, Lufthansa 947 on 20 nautical mile for runway 07 right Frankfurt. I just made this call to, you know, inform others around, which might be around the Frankfurt airport, to give them a heads up. Now I will just reduce my speed even more, since I don't want to overshoot to ILS very much. Turning towards the runway. Yeah, Bapsa waypoint is in the PFD. As you can see, it's our final approach point. I'll head towards there. So we are at 8,000 feet, and we can put the landing and runway turn-off lights. We are below 10,000, and we are 7,600 feet, and at the Bapsa point we need to be at 4,000, so it's like 3,500 feet difference. And to calculate, we're gonna need to multiply it by 3. It gives us 10.5 nautical miles. So this matches the exact distance that we are to Bapsa, which means we are very good on the path. We don't need to increase our rate of descent, that's for sure. Okay, we have 2,500 feet left. Bapsa is getting closer. Ropsa, correction, the name of the waypoint is Ropsa. And as we are, yeah, we have the glide slope alive right here, and the localizer on the right. Let's just give it a little right, and the transition level is reached, so switch to local QNH, which is 1018. We can just start extending our flaps. Oh, I just disconnected autopilot by mistake. Okay. Flaps 1. Okay. Speed brake can go down now. Decrease the speed to flaps 1 speed. Flaps 5. Speed is lowering to flaps 5 speed. Or if there is a restriction like in the AOI chart, you can always follow those speed limits, but since no one's around here, I'll just do it textbook stuff. Warlock, set the runway heading on the heading panel, MCP panel, heading window 066. Speed is good, approach is armed. I'm just waiting for glide slope to be captured to set by missed approach altitude, which is 5,000 feet.
1,000 to go.
We are still below the glide slope, so we are good. We're not going to be high to, intercept the glide slope. And you can actually see the runway ahead. Let's just decrease the rate of descent by vertical speed. Beautiful stuff. We are about to capture the glide slope now. And I am planning to put down my landing gear and flaps 15 at around 7 nautical miles from ALS. Okay, in the FMS database, the final approach course is 067, so I'll just reset them to 067. It's just slightly different than the chart. It's okay. This never happens in the real life, but since this is a simulated. Glide slope is captured, missed approach altitude 5,000 set. We are getting close to the airfield. Unicom Lufthansa 9047, 10 nautical miles to ILS 07, right? Okay, 10.1 DME from the runway. We are good. Glide slope is captured, everything is all set. Just waiting to get close to put down my landing gear and the flaps 15. And after landing, we're going to be vacating from left via Lima. Correction, Mike 11 or Mike 7. We'll see. Okay, we are 8 miles out. It's good time. Landing gear down and flaps 15. By the time you put those in, you lower your speed to flaps 15 speed, and engine start switch is continuous. Arm the speed brake for automatic extension after landing. Since the flaps are 15, we can continue to flaps 30. And speed is flaps 30 speed plus 5 knots minimum, which is 148 plus 5, 153 set. Landing checklist. Engine start switch is continuous, speed brake arm, landing gear down, flaps 30, green light. We are going in. Runway 07 right is identified. Everything is just perfect. I won't be able to see my FPM at landing, so if any of you guys can write it down for me in the chat, that would be much appreciated. So we have the callouts of 1000 when we are 1000 feet above the threshold, and the plus 100 which is called out at 100 feet above the minimums, and finally the minimums call out. which will followed by continue or go
1,000.
around
1,000 feet,
at,
stabilized, Mr. Bridge, altitude
yep,
set.
there is our first officer called the 1000. So let's go with autopilot and auto throttle, disengage, manual flight. Let's nail this one. Plus 100, clear to land runway 07 right. And minimums continue.
30, 20, 10.
Speed brake is up. Okay. Reverse is normal.
80 knots.
Sixty knots. Auto brake disarm. Let's just vacate the runway.
For the next few minutes, we do ask you please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft is parked at the gate and the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Let's just vacate
At
the
that time,
runway.
check your seating area for all your personal belongings you brought on board as you do today, and use caution when opening the overhead compartment. Thank you for flying with us today. We hope you had a pleasant experience.
Okay, you know what? Since no one is here, let's just do our vacating runway items here because nobody is rushing us. Prop heats off. Landing lights off. Taxi light is on. Engine start switch is back to off. Strobe light steady. Auto brake off. Flaps up. And transponder is back to altitude on. This completes our vacating runway procedure. Let's just continue our taxi. If you guys saw the FPM during touchdown, if you can write it down, that would be very muchly appreciated. Okay, let's just make sure nobody's around. Before entering the other runway. Okay, this is the Cat 1 holding point for the runway 07 center. Before passing this, we need to make sure that nobody's coming and going. That looks like all set. And before entering another runway, anytime, you just put the strobe lights on. That's the procedure. I'll just continue straight ahead. In the park at my discretion, because Frankfurt is all empty. You can never see it like this. just make sure nobody's around. Strobe light goes back to steady. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna park at the next one. Seems like Alpha 2, 3. Okay, that will be my spot for tonight. Whoop, what is this guy doing? Careful, mate. Oh. Alpha 2, 3 gate. Full stop. Let's just set the parking brake. Ask for ground power unit. There we go, the ground power unit. Ground power on bus. And since we have the ground power, we can turn off the engines since 3 minutes have passed since we landed, and then continue with the shutdown checklist. Fasten belts off, anti-collision light off, fuel pumps off, hydraulic panel set, isolation valve auto, flight directors off, and transponder set the 2000 and standby, and the weather radar off too. This one looks automatic, so yeah, that completes the shutdown procedure. And after this one we have the secure procedure. When all the paperwork are done and the passengers have left the plane, we go ahead and set the IRSs off, emergency exit lights off, window heat off, packs off. So this completes the secure procedure. Thank you for joining me today. This was like not the smoothest one, not the smoothest stream. I'm aware of that, but things will get better. And thank you again for joining. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your days. See you guys later.